Hello and welcome to all the ghouls and vampires and zombies, I guess. I'm Joe here with me is my co-host Dan,
Hello and greetings.
and we have another Zombie Island video. Zoinks! It's been a while. So, while we've been gone, Shaggy and Scooby have been eating up some hot peppers when they probably shouldn't, when they can't handle the heat. And with it melting their mouths, they end up also running into a certain fisherman who has a boar, and the boar is sicked on them for no reason. With Shaggy and Scooby then racing off because they're scared of the boar. They don't really have any means of defending themselves. This is this man actively trying to commit first degree murder with his animal pet. I'm just saying, like, his pet is actively trying to kill a man and his dog. Legally, I bet you if any harm came to Shaggy or Scooby, they could actually have his boar legally put down and turned into dinner, which would probably be a greater contribution to society and to humanity because honestly, pig meat, pork, it tastes delicious.
I wouldn't want to eat that boar's meat.
Oh, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I don't.
He looks fat. He looks well fed.
I don't know what he's been fed.
Fish.
Yeah, fair.
He's been eating nothing but fish, so he's all's good. And maybe the occasional cat, but all's good on that front. So I say, turn him into
Bacon.
a rotisserie style bacon and pork dinner, and heck, you could have that for Thanksgiving. That said, Shaggy and Scooby stumble into a hole, or a grave, I should say, that Bo's been digging up. Although we don't find that out till later. Shaggy and Scooby are horrified to find a skeletal arm there. Yeah, of course they are. With ectoplasm starting to gather all above their heads, only to then plunge towards said skeletal arm. And we get Captain Moonscar, who's back from the dead and there to haunt everyone. Zombie style.
Jeepers.
Yeah. So, what do Shaggy and Scooby do? Start tripping over each other to get out of there. Only to struggle because it's a rather deep hole in the ground. So, they struggle and struggle. And this is one of those scenes which is actually pretty good because it sets the mood really well with it taking Shaggy and Scooby so long to get out of the pit that you kind of start to worry for them. Even after multiple viewings. I'm just saying, it's still a great scene.
It mixes in that classical zombie horror with a bit of a Scooby-Doo mix.
Yeah, which is why I'm just saying animation is the way to go when you want to portray decent stories. Is that you can't achieve without CGI. I mean, why would you spend so much money on CGI when you could just probably cut the cost and for 35 to 50 million these days, just produce something like an epic Conan or Solomon Kane or Lord of the Rings style film in animation. You could do it for a tenth of the cost, but studios don't because they're obsessed with, well, let's be honest, we all know it's a money laundering scheme, so the actual movie probably doesn't cost more than 120 million. Everything else is the marketing and the money laundering. That said, Shaggy is the worst for doing one thing, pulling his dog up by the tail. No dog appreciates that. He's lucky he didn't get bitten.
I'm sure Scooby is willing to make it an exception in this moment.
I guess. But on the other hand, Shaggy taking off without Scooby, no, he would never. Of course he reaches down and saves his pup. Which, it does make me wonder, like, just about the ownership with Scooby. Shaggy has to be the owner. Legally, I mean.
Likely.
Yeah. And this scene really brings to mind also the Scooby-Doo movie when Shaggy has the choice between girlfriend and dog and chooses to go rescue his dog. It speaks to the character that Shaggy has deep down. While he is a coward, he is scared, he wants to live to a ripe old age, he's a man who could never abandon his dog. So, and his dog is his best friend. So, yeah, he's not going to ditch him. And deep down, when push comes to shove, Shaggy gets brave for his dog. He gets courageous. And in quite a few episodes and a few movies, Scooby gets even braver when Shaggy's in danger. Scooby will go into any kind of danger just to rescue Shaggy. Honestly, maybe Shaggy and Scooby as I'm going to say father-son relationship doesn't get enough credit. I know people are going to say, no, it's more like siblings or best friends. Yeah, but arguably Shaggy raised Scooby and trained him. Arguably, the relationship might be more parent and child. And I just tend to view dogs more as children, I guess. So to me, Scooby's probably more Shaggy's son in a way. So it adds an extra layer. Realizing that convincing them the old-fashioned cartoon series way won't work, Shaggy drags them off to the hole where the zombie came from. At which point, Freddy doubts. Shaggy and Scooby insist. But Shaggy points out, well, we ran into Bo right after we escaped the zombie. At which point, Velma gets suspicious of Bo because he's dug a large hole in the middle of nowhere in the forest.
And claims it's for these small flowers.
Yeah, his story doesn't add up. He's the only person who could pass as the potential guy in the mask. And of course, Daphne is too busy checking the guy out to really be thinking as like a detective, which annoys Freddy, her boyfriend. At which point Shaggy decides, okay, yeah, let's get out of here. It is the offer of food, though, that gets Shaggy and Scooby to support staying, with Daphne determined to get her
Scoop.
Yeah. Even she should know they're kind of starting to get in over their heads. But, Mystery Inc. sometimes have more balls than brains, to be quite honest. Other times they have more brains than balls, but yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button to stay tuned for the next one.